Hi guys, Andy off my dad. So I've been using the Hackmotion for about 2-3 weeks. I've probably had about 5 or 6 sessions with it. Really been impressed with it, but I've not been out on the golf course now what feels like quite a while. So I'm here at Tapton Park. I've just come, going to play a few holes, right? Going to give it a little experiment. So I don't know how this video is going to turn out, but I've actually synced it up. We're ready to go. We're going to play a few shots out here. Going to capture the data on my phone, chat to you guys on the phone, see if what I've been working on the range, which will explain as we go along a few of the shots, and we'll just go have some fun, see how this works out. Right, we synced up Hackmotion on the course. Let's give it a go. Right guys, so as I said, just gonna have a bit of fun here on the course. Never used it out on the course, so don't know how this video is going to turn out. Don't know how long the battery is. Should have charged this a bit more before I came, but I've got the phone synced up. We'll have a look. I'll talk through what I found so far with the Hackmotion in terms of what I need to work on or what I've been working on. But let's hit a couple of balls anyway. We'll go play a few holes. Little par 3 here. Got about 3 layers on. Look like the Michelin man, as Mrs. Golfman Dad said. So let's have a go. Definitely a looser. Let's see if it's picked up. So interesting to start with. I'll just do a little screen grab instead of recording. So on there I've got 2 green lights at the top. What is in for me, you can tell I did not get through the ball, so impact position is +3, which means I have got too much extension. I was in the green zone, but I want to be around -5, 10. That's what I've been working on. So with the first swing, when I stop rotating on my lower body, the hands start to flip, and that's what we got first one. So let's hit another one. Really good position at the top, happy with that position. I've got to feel that I rotate and get. Can we get a minus number at impact? Definitely still didn't, but I think it was a bit better. Let's have a look. So again, as we can see from the screen grab, did not get to the position I wanted. +3, it's neutral, but I want to get that into a minus number, which means it's into flexion. So let's go and have some fun and we'll chat a bit more. Right guys, so as we walk in, quickly explain what it's found when I've been using it. So with the Hackmotion, it gives you little diagnostics, it gives you little training plans afterwards. So I know when I'm at the top of my swing, I do get a bit of extension, but I do cover the ball. But when I don't rotate, as I've just seen from there, I don't get the flexion I want at impact, so really compressing the ball. But one interesting thing what it did find the other day, obviously this is what I'm using is the core model, so it only gives me flexion and extension. Need £1,000 to see all the data on there. But one thing it did pick up from there, as in my takeaway, I was getting too much hinge in terms of that way. Tour average is about 30 degrees. I was getting about 40 degrees, which was then leading me to get too much extension at the top of the backswing, and it helps me keep in that green zone from those first 2 shots. I want to get, as I said, to a minus number, but with a second shot pin high, so we'll take that anyway. So it's mid-December anyway, got about 3 layers on. I've not warmed up, which I should have, so we'll pop you guys down there. We'll have a little chip, see if it registers that as well. Right, so for short game, this is definitely not really used for this one, but I've just been interested. As we said, like a little bit of data. So this is, I'm just going to play my basic chip and run, see where the wrist angles are. So we're looking to land this halfway around. Don't go in. Right, has it picked that up? Let's have a little nosy. So obviously this is just for a little bit of fun. So it shows at the top, it was a really neutral position, because when I want to open a face, I want to get it more extended, but from there, I was allowing the club to release, which is what I want. So this way it's interesting for me for my short game. If you're a handle driver, which I don't want to be at all, really let the club release. So I've allowed that to release. That's why I've got the red at +17, which shows me I've released it. Obviously I want to release it and go there. So the 3 shots I play, like the Dan Greavy's, the left hip, the belt buckle for me, and the right hip. So I'm going to have extension through impact, but I obviously want less if we're just playing the chip and run. So interesting, and I love a bit of data, guys. Nearly went in, guys. First chip outdoor for a few weeks, so let's off to the next hole. Right, guys, so next hole, currently the 12th, but that will change in the spring of 2025. So one thing I've noticed at the range also is that when I suffer and I get tight in here, that's when I struggle and I end up a bit more extension as I try to get into a false position by lifting at the top, which gets me to the overextension. So it shows I've really got to warm up, especially if I've been to the gym or it's cold. Got to get this body moving. So let's see if I can get this feel of getting a minus number through impact. So the position at the top was good. Let's just try and get the impact feel. Flush that. Again, interesting. I'm still not getting into the positions I fully want, but I flushed that. So even by a few weeks out here, I'm +9. I want to try and get into the minus numbers, but I've crushed that. It's my 5 iron. That tree's at about 230. So both zones are in the green zone, so it shows it's neutral. So you can see there the divot points after, but it is making me aware, like I said, just briefly, I was taking it back and getting too much hinge in. Like I said, hinge average on tour is 30 degrees. I was getting to 40 degrees, which then leads to more extension at the top. So now I'm feeling almost that I'm swinging with no hinge. That's the feeling. Obviously feel to real. So if I reduce the feeling of the hinge, I'm getting to where I want to go to. Gives me a neutral position, less extension at the top, which allows me to deliver it more neutral. So it goes from the address. I guess the main reason of the Hackmotion is where from our address position to the top, we don't want too much manipulation, but already out on the course, I can just feel a sense of where that club is. I'll tell you what, let's hit one more while we're here. For left! For! Right, nearly hit someone there, but I gave him a good shout. So what's interesting on that, the top position again. So this is show when I'm not rotating properly. What's interesting here, impact is still +11, so a little bit too much cupping, which then for me, when I've not rotated, I let the club go, is why it's starting left of my target. Whereas if I'm pushing it down, it's going to start on the line I want it to go to. So that's what's been really interesting with this data and with my start line. So if I extend, don't get into my impact position, the club face is already pointed left. I've only missed my target by 20 yards, but that's one of the reasons, so I can look at the data straight away and see where my start line is. I'll let the club release. So already super interesting, well for me anyway, who likes a bit of data in understanding start line, wrist positions. Right, let's make sure I've not gone and killed those two people anyway. Right guys, so this was the first one, 240 off the tee, a little bit slow, so played about 230. Wind slightly helping, but I'll take that. The second one, just clip those branches. So again, I've missed target by 20, 30 yards. So that just shows just a couple of degrees when can still make the difference. So this one, I've got 178 to the pin, balls above my feet. So I want to try and can I get into this minus number impact? Happy with the position at the top of the backswing. So not as much inside takeaway, which I do try and fight, but that was also leading to more extension, which was diagnosed by Hackmotion. Right, anyway, let's try and feel impact position. Stinger, it's pin high. Again, I am not rotating. At the top, fine, 25 plus impact, +9. So I'm going to change a little feeling here. And again, that's neutral. Ball's above my feet, so a little bit harder as well. So the feeling what I'm going to try now is really push into my left side, use this ground to get open, as I'm definitely not using the ground. So can we use this ground more to get into the impact position I want? So I'm really going to push my left foot out towards 11 o'clock on this one. There you go. Use the ground a lot more to get open. Feels effortless. And that's nearly stiffed it, to be fair. So again, still not got to the minus number I'm trying to get to. Again, ball above my feet, but I use the ground more there. I'm definitely more aware of how neutral the wrist position is. So as I said on previous videos, I've borrowed this for a week or two, but I think it might have to go on Santa's list. Right guys, as you can see, we're walking up. Very happy with these results. So if you've used Hackmotion before, let me know what you think of it. Or you're wanting to go have a little test of it yourself. I tell you, from the first 4 or 5 sessions, I'm definitely feeling the benefit of it. I can't even speak. I'm definitely feeling the benefit of it, just being able to feel where the wrists are. I know how to keep it more neutral now, which is definitely helps with these. Right, we'll give myself that one. And let's go. Can we get to that minus impact number, or do I need to go to the gym before I play again, really get these muscles loosened up after I've been sat on the desk working all morning? Right, back in a mo. Right guys, while we're out, let's have a little bit of fun in the bunker, see what the data looks like. And there's quite a bit of sand in this one, to be fair, so I'm going to try and play my belt buckle release. So as I take this club back, I actually fan the club open, so I should be increasing the extension quite significantly, and then I'm going to keep it on and we'll see where the impact position. So this one, I'm going to play this as the belt buckle release, so cup it as we come just past impact. This one's be pointing at belt buckle, so let's have a bit of fun. Let's see where the numbers are. Not hit a bunker shot for a long time either. Oh, nearly went in again. So there at the top, it's got plus 30. I'll do it in this hand. So definitely a lot of cupping, which is what I want. I want to open that face. Impact is plus 13. So still plenty of extension as I'm using that bounce on there. So let's try this one. Now I've used this one. This will be a compact lie. So this one, I'm not going to have as much, and I'm going to use the left hip release. So I'm going to use more of the front edge just to try and pop this. So I'm not going to release the club as much. The weight mass over the left, still hinging, but I'm not going to release this club as much with a compact lie. There you go, just nipped out, still gets loads of pop, super spin. So what's interesting there is I've actually at impact got plus 17, whereas my belt buckle has got plus 13. On that left hip one, my mass was ahead of the ball, but I did think that would be the other way around on there. So the address, same setup at the top of the swing, pretty much the same, to be fair. So that's something, again, I can play with, get different feels of really opening the face up. Impact position, at least we know we're not handle driving. I'm letting the club release into this position. So definitely interesting. So this one, let's try. Someone's just coming up behind, so I'm not going to go too far. This one, I'm really going to try super extension, really fan that club open. Let's see where we go. Super high flop, comes out super soft. That's pin high as well. So again, a lot of just feel their position. That's actually same to where I was. Impact position plus 17. But the main thing is I can see that I'm adding loft and I'm keeping loft to make bunker shots a whole lot easier than just controlling the releases for the different lies, which, as we know, it's all about reading the lie to then use what part of the bounce we can use. Right, find a rake, tie to this bunker. Right guys, let's play a few more Hackmotion battery. is looking good. Got the new Osmo Action Pro 5, which is definitely making these a lot easier, a bit lighter to carry around. So let's see how close to the minus we can get this at impact. Wind's off the left here. Start down the middle, just drifted right. Again, felt like I come out of this, so I can obviously guess this is going to be plus number impact. Top of position, it's just creeping towards the top of my range, which there I can feel if I get it whipped on the inside, it lends me to be too extended. So impact plus 9. Felt like I come out just release instead of really pushing. Right. Crunch that. Just cutting with that wind. We're all in play, very neutral. But again, plus 9 impact. It's neutral. I want to get to the minus, so before I finish today, I'm going to hit some minus numbers. Right guys, both of those worked out fine. So again, what's interesting now, I've really got a way to measure how extended the wrists are. If that had been some of my older swings, I've got too much cupping, coming in with more open face, not being understanding to control it, that would have brought out of bounds into play. So here I've got 197. My 7 iron still needs the head gluing on, so I'm just going to take a spin off. A 6 iron, so this one's a little 3/4. So let's see if we can keep the hinge down and see where we can get to impact position. But play with what's working today, but can we get this more to where ideally I'd like it, right? Pin to win. It's actually near the pin as well, right? So there we go. I don't know if you see, give that quick screen grab. So we get in there. It's not the way I want to get there, but top position, it's very consistent, 26 degrees. I'd like to get that around to about 20. Impact plus 2. Definitely controlling that club face. Now I'm really feeling like Tiger does. He feels everything in his hands. Now for me now, I've just got to feel, so I feel it more. I've got to push into the ground, help me get open, which then allows me to get these wrists. But can we get this wrist down? But all about controlling that club face. Oh, flush that. Felt like I'd gone through the ball. Tell you what, this is transforming my game consistency wise in just 2 weeks. Still plus 4, cannot get to minus position. That's super neutral, especially when the wind's just getting up from there. Right guys, so just walking up to the green, so I think what it's really showing me here out on the course is having my understanding of where my wrists are, really keeping it neutral, which will then help me with ball flight, consistency, just really help me dial in and cut down the misses, narrow down my dispersion. And also what's really important, obviously, when we're out on the course is can we self-diagnose? I do understand quite a lot of my swing. I've got to know it. I understand a lot of my biomechanics. I know today I'm really tight in my right hip, my right shoulder. So I'm really struggling to really compress that ball, but I'm controlling the face of the club. So, which will then, if I'm coming out here, obviously we can't wear this when we're playing competitive rounds, but it gives me instant feedback today, which I'm really enjoying for the first time out on the course. But I know if this was in competition play now, I know I can understand where my start paths are. Am I getting too extended, too much extension impact, causing the ball to start left for me? So when I'm out on the course playing, I can really self-diagnose what's going wrong on that day, or just play with what I got today. Like off that tee, I was going to try and hit a draw, but how I'm feeling today, for me to hit the draw, I'd really just have to flip my hands over, which I'm trying to get away from. I'm more of a handsy flippy player as it is, so I want to try and get away from that. So first impressions out on the course, I think I will be bringing this out a lot more often, and I'm definitely going to be pushing it. Right, where's that ball? Right, one's up there. We'll have a little putt and we will try and get to this minus number before we finish this video. Stress-free part though. Right guys, so just a quick update, and this is probably more my fault, and obviously I've not used it on the course before, but just to check, I was just flicking through, checking the data on the screen. What I did notice, I just load up the Hackmotion again, was when I just check it on my phone, it did just seem out by a few degrees. So whether it's moved the calibration, I'm not sure what I've been playing. So the numbers, because to be fair, the last couple of shots felt like I got into my minus number, where now, if you look at that one there, that is on my phone, 0 degrees, where just before I've just recalibrated it, it was flat, was reading, I would say about 4 or 5 degrees, which then puts those numbers from the past shots. So that's just one thing, that's probably my user error. I calibrated at the start, but how accurate did I do it? I should have really double checked that. So let's give this one a little go. So let's double check on here. So flat wrist there is 1 degree, 0 degree, or +1. So let's see if I can get here. So this is a prime example of being able then to control the wrist, control flight. So this is an elevated position. I've got 158. The wind's really getting up into, so I don't want this ball up in the sky. So I'd move my ball back a little bit, but I also don't want to be adding extension through impact, adding loft. So I really want to get a minus number, flexion number onto this. So let's see. Again, horrible shot. Let's see where the numbers are. Yeah, there we go. There's a horrible shot, didn't rotate, but already I've got my impact position here to -11. Top position's +10, so not the 2023 or more we were getting earlier. So interesting. Might have to do a little follow-up video. Right, let's commit to rotation on this, concentrate on the start line. That's straight to the pin. Let's have a quick look. Again, really good positions through from there. So that's interesting. I said I didn't know how this video was going to turn out, so a few things to check. One, check fully your calibration at the start. So there, my impact position is -11. The top of my swing, there's only +7, so I'm only doing a half swing there. So that's more like there, whereas too much hinge leads to extension. But again, a great way of being able to control flight. So calibration, definitely got to check that one. Flush that. That felt compressed. Do the numbers back it up now? Yep, absolutely. So from here, impact position is -9. So we've got a bit of shaft lean. We're keeping that ball flight down. Top is only +7. So I'm not cupping the wrist. I'm really keeping that face neutral, turning it down, compressing that ball. I said we get to those minus numbers, even though I think most of my shots so far have been the minus numbers. I feel a bit happy now. Right guys, so happy with that one there near the pin, but I think it also shows data is fantastic. We just got to be making sure that we get in the correct data, which I think that was more my fault of calibrating it at the start. But even though it was only a few degrees out, I was still giving me a sense of where my, let's grab that one, of where my club face was, keeping it more neutral. So Hackmotion, would I recommend it? Absolutely. I've been really impressed with it for the first 4 or 5 sessions out on the course. The battery's still going really strong. It's connected to my phone, it's not lost connection on my phone out on the course. So if I'm out practicing now, I think this could be a really good, useful training aid, but I'll bring out a lot more when I'm out practicing on the golf course. Keep using it on the range. Also, as I keep adding speed throughout the winter, I've just hit about 128 club head speed. So those wrist angles are even more important. So obviously when I'm adding more speed, if those wrists are out or too much cupping, I've got to fight that. My misses are going to be a whole a lot bigger. So hope you enjoyed that anyway. I think the moral of the story is make sure we calibrate it properly. But Hackmotion, really impressed with it out on this course here. Got about 20 minutes of light left. Range in the background, so I better get out of sight before someone hits some bombs. It's not me today. Right, I will speak to you soon, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'm gonna hit some more Hackmotion. Right, see you later, guys. Right, quick little bonus one. So while we're out here, might as well get the driver out, see where the risks are. Little way, it's about 290, I think, to the greens, downwind. Oh, there you go, flush that. That's probably just right of the green. Let's have a look at those numbers. So again, interesting again. So on here, it's plus 28 at the top, too much extension for where I want it to go. Impact, I've released the club, so I'm a little bit extended, but it's kept it neutral-ish there. But for me, I really have to push into that ground to fight that early extension, but definitely helps. Instant feedback, keeps it neutral. Actually hit the middle of the face as well, but bit of work to do. Back in the gym, get as flexible as we can. When this gets tight, that's when I get a bit too much of that. So more flexibility here, easier to get into here, but really impressed with it. Definitely went a little too far. Got the wrong club with me, but I'm not walking back to the bag. All right, keep those wrists. Definitely got to get the wrists minus on this one. Still caught the branch.